Before we do start this video, excuse me, I've had a shave before and I've absolutely butchered it, so just bear with me. Don't want it to be like one of them, like good old TMC and just stick the... Nah, that looks a bit stupid, I'm not doing that. We'll just go traditional. Crack on one of these. Ooh. Wow. Never gets old, that. Yes, people, welcome back to Brendan Pearson Fitness. Different kind of video today. I might also record this, put the voiceover into a podcast. But today's video is just going to be me talking to the camera. It's going to be specifically talking about advice for anybody who is new to the gym, who wants to build muscle, wants to get in shape. Some of the things that you should really focus on that maybe myself and a lot of other people don't focus on and always make the mistake of when they're obviously first going into the gym. So advice for anybody new. Obviously, when you're going into the gym, I remember my first kind of going into the gym, public gyms, not really knowing what to do. I swear I wore one of them top man baggy vest tops and thought I was big because someone told me at school that I had muscles. But yeah, anyway. So when you're first going into the gym, you make a lot of mistakes. You kind of look at magazines, you're looking on Instagram, especially these days, you can look on anybody. Anybody and everybody is posting workouts. You go and see the biggest guy in the gym, see what's he doing, and you just kind of copy what they're doing. But there's a lot of mistakes that a lot of people who are still quite experienced in the gym, or some things that you see on Instagram, there's a lot of myths out there, especially with a lot of shit that's on TikTok at the minute. So we need to clarify a few things and a few bits of advice that you need to get down when you're first going into the gym. First thing, just before we start, obviously I'm not trying to plug my own coaching and stuff, but one bit of advice I would give to anybody who is starting the gym is get a coach. Get a personal trainer who's good, get a good PT, there's a lot of shit PTs out there. Get a very good personal trainer just to guide you for maybe the first 6 to 12 weeks or whatever it is into the gym, because trust me, you'll save about a year's worth of progress in terms of wasting time, trying different things, trying to do chest day every single day, wasting loads of time doing stupid things. A personal trainer will tell you a lot of interest and a lot of knowledgeable things that you'll pick up and take obviously along with you and save you them 6 months to a year of wasting your time. You'll learn proper form, proper technique. You'll probably reduce the risk of you getting injured. You'll understand about volume, about frequency, about how you need to recover and everything, which is obviously what we're going to touch on here. So hire yourself a personal trainer for the first, even just the first like 2 weeks, just to get you into the gym. Get 5 sessions in with a personal trainer to start off with, and that will save you months of trying your own thing, not knowing what you're doing, maybe trying to lift too heavy, your form's all over the place. They will correct your form and look and see what needs to be done. So yeah, tip number 1 before we start anything, get a coach. Coaching link if you want to inquire down below for personal trainer if you're in Newcastle, or if you want to go online, links down below as well, so we can do it anywhere in the world. Anyway, less of that. So first tip is don't try and do everything at once. Don't try and get your training, nutrition, your sleep, your macros and everything on point at once. With new clients that I have, I always try and just break it up one by one. So first of all, we start off with getting the training right. If we try and get training sessions in, start with 2 days a week. If you're struggling to trying to get yourself to the gym, start with 2 days a week, or even start with 1 day a week. Never mind that. Start with 1 day a week and consistently hit that 1 day a week. Tick off that training session 1 day a week for a month, for 4 weeks, whatever it is. Then you're already making progress. Start with that and get that perfect, and then move up to 2 sessions, move up to 3 sessions. Once your training's on point, once you're training 4 or 5 days a week and you're happy where you're at, even 3 days a week, that's all you really need. Once you've got your training on point, you've got your technique on point, you understand progressive overload, you understand that you need to lift a little bit heavier over time, get stronger, increase your volume, then you can go and look at your nutrition. If you try and do everything at once, a lot of the time you probably get overwhelmed, confused, and you'll probably not make as much progress, and you'll end up just kind of dotting all over the place. Same with like when it comes to your work. If you're, say, doing work, you work for a business, you've got this bit of work, or if you're at school, at university, you've got this assignment to do. If you start this assignment but then start working on another assignment and then another assignment, you're going to lose track of where you're going, and you're going to be doing little bits of other things, but you're never actually going to get anything done. So start with one thing. Focus on your training. Then after that, nutrition-wise, focus on hitting your protein goal. Hit that 1 gram per kilogram, or that 1 gram per pound of body weight per day. Focus on getting that in. Then you can focus on getting your calories right. Then you can focus on getting your macronutrients right. Then you can focus on meal timing and getting your 4 or 5 meals in a day. Then you can focus on your sleep, getting your sleep on point. Do one thing at a time, break it up into little things, and then over time, a year or 2 down the line, you'll find that you'll be nailing everything rather than still trying to dabble into different things. So don't try and do everything at once. Again, if you've got a good coach, they'll kind of break that down for you as well. So just start off with the basics and then build up from there. So next thing, one of the most important things if you want to progress in the gym is consistency. I've talked about it a million times. If you go on my Instagram, I've done IGTV, talking about how important consistency is, but it is so, so important. If you are someone who, like I said before, if you're trying to do everything at once and you're trying to maybe train 5-6 days a week when you just started out, you'll probably end up doing that 5-6 days a week for probably a week. And then after that, you'll probably drop off. You'll have a week off. Then you might come back in and do 2 days. You might have another week off and then come back and do 4 days. And you'll be up and down like this. What you want to get is just find something that you can maintain consistently. Like I said, if it's 2 days a week to start off with, do that 2 days a week and be consistent. I always say the 80-20 rule is a great place to kind of be in. If you're 8% of the time, you're 100% consistent, perfectly. That 20% of the time, if you're a little bit off track, if you're eating shit, you're going out a little bit here and there, whatever it is, or you're missing 1 day every other week of training, that's fine. Don't worry about it. As long as you're 80% consistent, that's absolutely fine. You're going to make progress. Consistency is the main thing in terms of anything. When I've had clients who have got results, the reason is because they've been consistent. The ones who don't get results are the ones that are here for 3 or 4 weeks and then they're away for 2 weeks and then they come back, and it's almost as if they take 2 or 3 weeks step back. It takes a little bit longer to get the results that you want. So be as consistent as you can. Don't stress about doing everything at once. Start with 3 days a week. Smash them 3 days a week consistently for 6 months, and then you can start building up from there. So consistency is massively important. Same thing with your nutrition. If you can be 80% of the time on track with everything, then you'll start to make results rather than being 100% on it, eating chicken, rice and broccoli. Not to say that's the best nutritional advice either, but eating from Tupperwares when you're going out with family rather than enjoying those meals, you'll probably find you're going to lose that enjoyment and love of the process, which will end up leading to better consistency. So point number 3 is how important rest is. Rest is so important. One of the big mistakes that I made when I first went into the gym is that I thought I needed to train every single day. So I would go back to back. I'd do chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, legs on Wednesday, shoulders on Thursday, arms on Friday, and then I just keep on repeating that. No days off whatsoever. Sometimes I would train twice a day. Especially when I was in full-time football, I overtrained so much. It's so important, especially if there's any athletes or anybody who plays football or rugby or any other sport, alongside wanting to have that aesthetic physique, bodybuilding physique, then you need to make sure that you're resting and recovering. Those rest days, that time to recover, is where you're starting to build and starting to recover from the training and actually build muscle. If you're constantly training, you're constantly just breaking down that muscle. So a lot of people don't realize when you train, you're actually breaking down muscle. When you're resting, that's when you're building muscle, you're recovering, you're fueling with protein and carbohydrates, replenish your whole body, and then you go again. You need those rest days. So on a general rule of thumb, I would do 2 days on, 1 day rest, 1 day full rest. I would maybe go for a walk, do a little bit of active recovery, stretching, mobility, that's fine. But two days in a row, 2 days of training, 1 day rest, 2 days in a row, 1 day rest. Even to start out with, 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off is absolutely fine. Once you start getting to the 3 days in a row, the 1 day off, you're starting to push that recovery limit. So maybe save that for later down in your training when you're a little bit more advanced. Make sure you're getting your rest in, and sleep's so important as well. One thing I didn't prioritize, especially when you're a little bit younger and you're going out and you're probably not getting as much sleep. Maybe you're at university and you're up until 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock every single night. You're not going to prioritize it. Prioritize your sleep. If you can get your sleep on point, try and get 7-8 hours of good quality sleep. There's a podcast I've done which I might link up somewhere on this screen. I've done a podcast talking about sleep before, how to get a good night's sleep. Sleep's so important for recovery. That is where the recovery happens. And if you want to build muscle, if you want to have optimum testosterone levels, sleep is one of the best ways to get a higher testosterone level. So prioritize your sleep. So rest, so important. Next point number 4, learn to master the technique and learn what mind-muscle connection is. Learn how to connect with the movements. If you want to build muscle, you need to be able to actually know the muscles that you're working. So if you're going into, for example, a leg extension, and you're just kicking the weight up and down like this, thinking that you're Ronnie Coleman, you're stacking the leg press and your leg extension, kicking it up and down. What you're going to be doing is just loading those ligaments and those tendons, which are what the tendons are what like kind of reacts when you're kicking up and down, when you're jumping. That's what's working. Same thing when it comes to the leg extension. If you're kicking your leg up and down, you're not actually going to be working that muscle. Drop that weight down, slow the movement, think about actually squeezing the muscle. So for example, if you're doing a chest fly, what you want to think about is bringing this upper part of your arm in line with the shoulder. That's what the movement of the chest does. The chest adducts this part of your arm towards your body. Think about that movement. When you're doing your chest press, are you thinking about squeezing that chest? Learn to connect with the muscles that you are working, and trust me, that'll get you better progress. You'll end up getting that mind-muscle connection a lot sooner, which is going to then help you be able to connect that muscle and actually work it rather than trying to lift as heavy as possible. It'll also help it decrease injuries, because injuries are a pain in the arse. They're going to stop that consistency, which is, again, that I talked about. It's really, really important if you want to progress. In terms of mastering the technique, like I said, get yourself a coach, someone who's going to teach you the proper techniques. Work on being able to control the weight down. Find what range of motion works best for you. For certain exercises, people have got different ranges of motion. For some people can't back squat properly because they have tight ankles, tight hips, whatever it is. Find exercises that work best for you and work on exercises that obviously you're not as good at in terms of mobility and stuff. So technique's so important. It'll help prevent injuries, which, like I said, is one of the main things that stops people from progressing is injuries. Next bit of advice for anybody who is starting out in the gym is in terms of nutrition. So do not go overboard with your protein. You do not need to eat 300 grams of protein per day like you are Ronnie Coleman, Big Ramy, Phil Heath, any of them. You don't need to have that. The reason that them bodybuilders or any of the people who you follow are having such a high amount of protein is because they have so much more muscle mass and their body needs that much protein. If you are someone who's maybe 50, 60, 70 kilograms just getting into the gym, you don't need anywhere near that much. Times your body weight by 2. It's a nice simple rule of thumb. Times your body weight in kilograms by 2. That's going to be roughly the amount of protein that you need. If you're a little bit of a larger individual, has a little bit more body fat, then you probably don't need as much. It's all about that, how much muscle mass you actually have. The more muscle mass, the heavier you are, the more protein that you need. So I used to literally just have like 50, 60, 70 grams of protein per meal, and I was probably only 70, 80 kilograms. Used to have that 4 or 5 times a day. I was probably having 300 grams of protein. If you're farting loads, it's probably not a good thing that whatever you're eating is probably not digesting properly. You probably just need to back away from that protein. Focus on getting good quality protein. Aim for whatever it is, 30, 40 grams max per meal, and then build it from there. And another thing in terms of nutrition, carbohydrates are not bad. If you want to build muscle, you need carbohydrates. They're going to help replenish glycogen stores. They're going to help drive nutrients to the muscles. They're going to help fuel your performance. Performance is the main thing that we want to focus on when you're starting out. In fact, in any sort of terms, performing well in the gym, you're going to get stronger, you're going to build muscle, you're going to recover a little bit better as well if your nutrition's on point. So carbohydrates, make sure you get them in. Obviously, if you want to lose weight, you want to do a little bit low, but don't completely cut them out. That's a load of shit. You need your carbohydrates to perform, to recover, no matter what level you are at. Next one, supplements. Supplements are not everything. I can't even express the amount of money that I've spent on supplements. Branched chain amino acids, don't waste your money on them. They literally are a waste of money. They're not going to benefit you at all. If anything, they might actually make it worse. Again, I've done a podcast covering the topic. Just focus on the basic principles. Focus on your training, focus on your nutrition, getting your protein in, getting sufficient calories in, resting enough, progressive overload in terms of your training. The only supplement I would probably recommend to anybody is probably going to be creatine monohydrate. It's one of the most researched supplements out there in terms of helping with strength, helping with performance, helping with cognitive function. That's a very hard word to say. Very, very hard word. Cognitive. Anyway, it's not really. I'm just being stupid. So cognitive function, loads of different benefits. The creatine, if anything, if you're struggling to get your protein in, as long as it sits well with your digestive system, protein powder, whey protein powder, some sort of plant-based protein blend. If you're just getting pea protein or rice protein, you're probably not getting enough amino acids. So some sort of protein blend is probably what you want, just to make sure. Again, it's going into too much detail for you beginners, but yeah, whey protein, bog standard, get it off Bull Powders, My Protein, wherever you want. Still waiting for a discount code and a sponsorship, so just drop us a message, one of you companies, because just choose a basic protein just to make sure that you're getting that protein intake in. It's handy having it after a workout. Again, I mix my whey protein with some water, put it on top of my Cocoa Pops. There's a great post-workout meal. Carbohydrates, nice and simple, sugars, and then some protein in there. Yeah, don't overcomplicate supplements. You don't really need to look at them until you're more experienced, more into training, and you need them additional 1 or 2% to get you that additional recovery. But to start off with, you don't need them at all. Next thing is comparing yourself to people that you see on social media, on covers of magazines, whatever it is, your favorite influencer, fitness guy or woman, whoever it is. Don't compare yourself to them, because one, the things that they put in their story are most likely going to be when they're competing or when they're prepping for a photo shoot. So they're very lean, they're in a very, very low body fat state, and they're shredded. And they prime themselves for that exact photo. So they carb up, they do loads of different things, they get a pump on beforehand. That is their perfect position. And it's a photo, so it's probably going to be edited a little bit. Don't compare yourself to that, because one, again, they're going to be probably feeling like shit during that photo. When you're so lean, when you have low levels of body fat, it's not healthy. Your testosterone levels are going to be low if you're a male. Obviously, your hormones can be messed up if you're a female as well. It's really not healthy for females being that low percent body fat for a long time. So just keep that in mind. Also, it's going to be the perfect conditions, and you can't maintain that all year round. Most of the time, majority of people who are, if you look at the best bodybuilders in the world, when they're in their off season, they're higher percent body fat. Why are they higher percent body fat? Because they perform better, because they recover better, because they're stronger, because that is the best body composition for them to build muscle. They're having more calories, the energy's better. If you're someone starting out, I wouldn't even think about dieting. Unless you're someone who is overweight and does need to lose weight, you might need to drop a little bit of weight, but then from then you want to just build muscle. If you're starting in the gym, don't expect to be shredded all the time. Give yourself at least 4 or 5 years of trying to build muscle, stay in a calorie surplus, which literally just means you're having more calories, you're consuming more calories than you're burning. So say you burn 2,500 calories a day, have 2,800 or 2,900, 3,000 calories, whatever it is. Give yourself a few years to build muscle, and then when you get to a certain level of muscle mass, that's when you can cut down and kind of reveal it all, say for a holiday, for a photo shoot, for a bodybuilding competition, or just to make you feel good, just for that one time. But don't expect to be shredded all year round. And the people who you see on Instagram who are shredded aren't going to be like that all the time. And if they are quite lean all the time, they're probably giving themselves a little bit of additional help, if you get what I mean. So yeah, don't expect that. And the last thing, the most important thing for anybody who is new to the gym is just to enjoy it and not put too much pressure on yourself. Most of the time, if you're first getting into the gym, you're probably going to be young. You're probably going to be 16, 17, 18 years old, just starting out, wanting to try and get a bit of muscle to impress the girl next door, whatever it is, or the boy next door. You probably just want to try and get in shape and feel a little bit better. Now, you're young. You want to be able to enjoy your life as well. So unless you want to compete at the Olympia and be the top bodybuilder, even the people who do that have a little bit of life balance. But you need to have a little bit of flexibility and a little bit of balance. Find a routine that works best for you. Like I said before, be consistent 80% of the time, be 100% consistent 80% of the time, that 20% of the time, enjoy yourself. Go on nights out with your mate. Maybe have a late night once a week. Maybe have a takeaway every 2 weeks. Have that balance, but find a routine that you enjoy. If you want to take it to the next level, that's when you do need to be a bit more serious and be more consistent and try and be 100% on it. And that's when it comes to meal prep, really trying to hone everything in. But for most of the time, if you just want to get in shape, you can get in shape with flexibility, with balance in your lifestyle. Just make sure you train hard, your nutrition's on point 80% of the time. Then that 20% of the time, have a little bit of fun, have a little bit of freedom, and don't try and kill yourself too early. Start with 2 or 3 days a week. Start with training plans that you enjoy. You don't have to go and run a marathon every single week to get shredded and just to get in shape. Find a training program, 2, 3, 4 days a week is all you need. Something that you can stick to that works with your work, your life, your student schedule, whatever it is. Find something you enjoy and you'll fall in love with the process. Like I have, I'm obsessed, like a lot of other people have. One final tip. Don't be hammering too many of these all the time. There's a few young lads that I train who turn up for sessions at like 7, 8 o'clock at night with cans of Monster. Again, it's going to massively affect your sleep. Don't be stupid and neck pre-workouts all the time. I know it's fun every so often in a while. I do it myself for like tough leg days and whatever down the line. Don't go crazy with these. Be sensible with it. Enjoy your training. Enjoy the gym. It should be a fun, exciting, enjoyable place. It shouldn't be a place for judgment. It shouldn't be a place to be judgmental. It shouldn't be a place to feel anxious. If there's someone in the gym whose technique isn't really good, don't take the piss out of them. Go and help them out. People might be in different situations. People might not understand certain things. People might think that they're doing the right thing, but they're actually not. So yeah, the gym should be a good environment, positive environment to help better yourself. That is what the gym is all about. Anyway, finish on a nice note. Hope you enjoyed this video. Listen a little bit more of me talking. I have put the timestamps down below if you want to go back and look at any of the things that I've spoke about, each individual thing. As always, give the video a like. Subscribe, share the video with a friend, copy the link over, share it on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Stick it in your group WhatsApp, that would be great because then there's a few more people that can see it. Or anybody else who's just starting the gym who needs a bit of advice, let me know. As I said before, one-to-one personal training and online coaching inquiries are down below. If you haven't already, put your notifications on as well because I don't think a lot of people get notifications off me because I'm only small. So we're going to build everybody and I'm going to take everybody along for the journey. So again, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.